Mr. Steinman, eager to find out why the GDP has not been availed by our new Minister of Finance. But before we get into that, there's also been a lot of questions in regards to what the President has done, with merging a few ministries. How does that actually, does it affect our country's economy? How does this role, or how will this role play in terms with our budget?
Elsevier, it will have an impact on the operational side, because she has reduced the number of minister positions from 23 to 14. And that is a significant reduction.
It is.
But you have to remember, the government cannot stop functioning.
Yeah.
It's what I always say, there are always these fears that we will run into a shutdown like the Americans. It's nonsense. We won't. There's a continuity. Remember, we've been busy with this now for 35 years.
Yeah.
So we fairly know how to do it, And since 2013, so that is now 12 years, we've been doing it according to the IMF model for middle-income countries. That's where this medium-term expenditure framework comes from.
Yes.
So the structure that we apply for the budget is well known, and it's very transparent, and it is tried and tested. The bricks that we build into that wall is the only thing that we have to decide on, big bricks or small bricks, normal bricks or super bricks, or building blocks even. So, but for the rest, the process is fairly well structured, and it is known by everybody. So if you ask me what is the impact on the operational side, we're going to save 7 salaries, but that is minuscule in the bigger picture.
Yeah.
That doesn't make Namibia rich or poor. The consolidation is probably more from a management perspective, and now I'm sort of talking in the mouth of the President, which I'm reluctant to do, but it's a valid question, why the rationalization?
Yes.
Why such a drastic, fairly comprehensive rationalization? And I personally believe we had too many ministries or agencies. What's that thing they always say? AO something. Agencies, officers, and
there was a lot.
Whatever.
Yeah.
So everything, all those entities have to go through the budget. That is the bottom line. It's funded by the government, and the government can only fund on the expenditure side a percentage or a part plus a little bit of what it gets in on the revenue side. So although we're always running a deficit, it is not out of bounds. I remember the years when we were running and this is now due to COVID, we were running an 8% budget deficit. Now that deficit for 2024 is down to 4.7%, I think, or 4.6%. So it is very much under control. That fundamental fact that there is a link between revenue and expenditure, that the government is very well aware of. If you take budgets of basket case countries like Zimbabwe and Zambia, if they can manage a 20% deficit, they're very lucky. But they are punished by the capital market.
Yeah.
Because remember, that deficit has to be funded. And that deficit is funded by government bonds, which is a loan that the government extend to the private sector, and people buy government bonds, and the government uses that money to finance its operations. So to give you I'm trying not to be like a politician, to run circles around the question. But the thing is, we don't know. The president has rationalized the governance structure. she has done it in a very transparent way. It's very easy for anybody to follow what has happened and what she's done. It was a bit of a surprise, especially the scope of it. But remember, it's a process that has only started about a month ago. On the 20th of March, actually less than a month ago, 21st of March, So how it will impact the budget in the rest of the medium-term expenditure framework is an unknown at this stage. And it is not as if it is hidden or anything, or there's any collusion. It is simply, it's a new process. It's a new administration. It's a new structure.
Yes.
So we'll only know towards the end of this year what the short-term impacts are, and only after 2 or 3 years will we see the longer-term impacts.
Yeah. Okay, so with that answer given, we will go for another short break, and once we come back, we will dive into GDP.